So I have a topic that I want to talk about. This is December 30th, 2025. Um, it is 7:38 p.m. This is going to be a taboo subject, um, but I hope when I bring it to discussion, nobody really. I want you to take it with a grain of salt, and I want you to think about it in the bigger scale. Trafficking. Trafficking without consent is a criminal activity. Now, why does the government say actual favors for profit is bad? Why is that particular act bad? Now we know why. On a spiritual level, we know why. Because it's not what humans are supposed to be doing. Okay? I understand that. But I also understand that not all humans want to live a holy life. I'm not advocating that they shouldn't. I am advocating that they should try to be their best selves, hence having some type of spiritual um, facets that they maintain in their life. I do. I support that. I do not advocate for trafficking. I don't. However, and this is the taboo part, let's talk about marijuana. How much profit was being made off of marijuana when it was illegal? How high was it? How many dubs did you have to put out to get a small little milligram or half a gram? It was money. It was a profitable business. Why, if people genuinely want to sell their souls and genuinely want to hurt their lineage and genuinely do not care about their well-being, why are we going to stand in their way when they genuinely don't want that? They genuinely want to be trafficked to make a profit, right? Because it's good money. It's good money. But what happened to marijuana when we legalized it? The price kind of went down. You know, you got to have more of a competition. You know, so and so growed jelly bean blue, and it was the bomb, and whatever did jelly mercury, and it was, like acid. It was 10 times better. I'd buy his over his, but they're both the same freaking price. But if you legalize it, the price went down. Everything got a little bit more affordable. But now the tax paying for it is a different story. That's what they do. They're like, okay, we're going to legalize this, and then we're still going to make a profit off of it. We may not be getting the same amount of profit, but we're just going to put it into taxation so that we get it out of it. No. The reason I bring up that about drugs is because what if people genuinely do not care about their souls, do not care about their bodies, and want to be trafficked and feel alive? I am not going to judge. I believe since the government partook in illegally profiting for our bodies to be used whichever way possible that they wanted, why can't I, as an individual, hypothetically, because I'm not going to do this, why would I, as an individual, not be allowed to do the same with my consent this time? Why is the government the only one that's allowed to traffic me? Why is it illegal for me to do it? Spiritually, it's illegal for you to do it. So they kept that enactment, but then to twist it for their benefit, they were like, well, we're still going to RAPE this girl and nobody's going to know. We're just going to falsify her documents. Oh, she got pregnant? Make her eat something so the baby dies. We didn't know for a couple months. Oh, get in there and scrape it out. So somebody's allowed to destroy my egg channel, my ovarian lining, my vaginal lining, because they wanted to make $1 million off of effing me from some disgusting Joe Schmo that has a couple bucks, or some old geezer mafia guy because he can't get it up anymore. So why can't a woman decide to make her own business doing that? We have escorts, that don't even take off their clothes. They're just there as an emotional support. Why is that a bad thing? I know that sounds taboo, okay? The second one that's going to sound taboo: suicide. What if, for example, my mother wanted to get medication to help herself die faster? My grandmother did the same thing. My mother told me that my grandmother actually asked the doctor, because she had breast cancer and she didn't want to cut off the boob because she was terrified about going in surgery and under the knife. And now that I know what happened with my family, I see why she chose that. Because my mother was murdered in the hospital. So anyway, you have people that are very sad in this life and they want to commit suicide. There's a lot of people that are hurting that want to commit suicide. Emotionally, amputees, trauma, PTSD. If they genuinely want to end their life. I know this is a very taboo and tough subject, but why is it that the government gets to say what we do with our bodies? I am very black and white about that context. If I want to harm myself, why am I not allowed to harm myself? Now, that might be another spiritual taboo. It is. Thou shalt not kill. And also, you won't commit suicide. And I get it. But if people don't want to follow the will of God, genuinely choose not to, who are we to decide for these people? We are not their keepers. We are not their judge, jury, and executioner. We can try. We can definitely be a jury. But you know what? You don't have a say. So that's pretty much it that I wanted to bring up. Because, oh no, I have one more. Sadomasochism. Like I said, my friend William, he was satanic and he liked to do really mean, pinning pain on you. He loved it. He is a masochist. And, but he was so fragile, I couldn't hurt him. He was so fragile. Just skin and bones. You saw all his veins through every aspect of his body. It's pretty extreme. So who are we to say what we're supposed to do with our bodies before we die, while we're not dead? If somebody wants to have a sex change and they genuinely feel like they can't stay in this life as a woman, they need to be a man, or they can't stay as a man, they need to be a woman. That's your prerogative. I'm not going to judge you until you judge me. That's really my motto. I don't judge you until you judge me. That's how I work. So I wanted to talk about those things. I know they're taboo. I skimmed over the one that I wanted to talk about. And right now, off the top of my head, I can't really remember it. I think it was about children. But anyway, just food for thought. I'm starting to hallucinate because I haven't slept in 48 hours, and that's my hallucination starting time. I'm not gonna lie. It's really hard to keep my eyes open, if you've noticed. Even with it down, it's kind of exhausting. But yeah, when I figure out about the card, I'll let you. Oh, I was looking for your card. That's what it was. I had the image of the social worker in my head. Yeah, I'm tired. Anyway, God bless everybody. Good night. Wish me some sleep either in the stairwell or in the cafeteria because I'm not going back to that room. They can sit there with my clothes smelling up the room with urine. Since they wanted to put it in there and I chose not to take it, that's on them. Anyway, I love you guys. I'm probably going to close my eyes a little bit.